For thousands of years, there was a kingdom that controlled trade routes across Africa and the Indian Ocean. A kingdom so wealthy and so powerful that the greatest empires on Earth depended on it. And yet for centuries, we didn't know where it was. We didn't know who ruled it. We barely knew it existed. This is the Kingdom of Punt, and its story is a story about how one of the world's greatest powers was literally erased from geography. I'm Kay, and this is Labari Studio, where we tell you about the African powers that shaped the world and then disappeared from history. Punt appears in ancient Egyptian records. It appears in ancient texts. It traded with every major power of its time, and then it vanished from history. Not because it fell, but because the world forgot. Let's talk about what happened. The Kingdom of Punt appears repeatedly in ancient Egyptian records. Egyptian pharaohs sent expeditions to Punt. They documented these journeys. They carved images of Punt's people and products into temple walls. Hatshepsut, one of the female pharaohs we discussed in episode 7, conducted a famous expedition to Punt. The expedition brought back myrrh, frankincense, ebony, ivory, and other precious goods. These goods weren't obtained through conquest. They were obtained through trade. Punt was a trading partner, not a conquered territory. So what was this mysterious kingdom? Historians have debated Punt's location for centuries. Was it in the Horn of Africa, in modern-day Somalia or Eritrea, across the Red Sea in Arabia? Archaeological evidence suggests Punt was likely in the Horn of Africa, in what is now Somalia, Djibouti, Eritrea, or eastern Ethiopia. It was a wealthy kingdom. It controlled trade routes. It had resources that the ancient world wanted. And it traded with Egypt, with Nubia, with Arabia, with the broader ancient world. What made Punt so important that pharaohs sent expeditions to it? Frankincense and myrrh were among the most valuable commodities in the ancient world. They were used in religious ceremonies. They were luxury goods. Punt controlled the production and trade of these goods. Ebony was another prized commodity. Dark, beautiful, valuable wood that was sought across the ancient world. Ivory, gold, spices, exotic animals. All of these came from or passed through Punt, making Punt essential to the economic systems of the ancient world. One remarkable thing about Punt, it appears to have had female rulers. Egyptian tomb paintings show Punt's ruler as a woman of authority and power. Historical inscriptions refer to the ruler of Punt in ways that suggest female leadership. This makes Punt unique among ancient kingdoms. Here was a state so ancient, so isolated from the patriarchal power structures of Egypt and Arabia, that it maintained female leadership. As time passed, references to Punt became less frequent. By the Greek period, by the Roman period, Punt was less prominent in the historical record. Trade routes changed, the spice trade shifted, new routes opened up, and Punt, once central to global commerce, became peripheral. But Punt didn't just fade naturally, it was erased. As European colonizers arrived in Africa, they rewrote geography, they renamed places, they redrew maps. Punt, which had been known for thousands of years, disappeared from the map. The location was lost. The history was forgotten. The kingdom was erased. For centuries, scholars didn't even know if Punt was real. They thought it might be mythical. It took modern archaeology and scholarship to rediscover that Punt was real, that it existed, that it had been erased. Why did the world erase Punt? Because Punt challenged the narrative that Europe was writing. If Africa had a powerful trading kingdom that rivaled Egypt and Arabia, that controlled global commerce, that had female rulers, that complicated the story that Europeans were trying to tell. The story Europe wanted to tell was, Africa was primitive. Africa had no sophisticated civilizations. Africa needed Europe to bring civilization. But Punt was proof that Africa had sophisticated civilizations, that Africa controlled global trade, that Africa had complex political systems, including female leadership. So Punt had to disappear. What was the cost of erasing Punt? We lost thousands of years of African history. We lost knowledge of a sophisticated kingdom. We lost the memory of female rulers in the ancient world. We lost the knowledge that women led sophisticated trading states. We lost the ability to understand Africa's role in shaping global commerce for millennia. In recent decades, Punt has been rediscovered. Archaeologists have identified likely sites of Punt. Scholars have pieced together the evidence. We now know that Punt was real, that it was sophisticated, that it was powerful. We know that it had connections to Egypt, to Nubia, to Arabia, to the broader ancient world. And we know that it had female leadership. What does Punt represent? Punt represents African sophistication in the ancient world. It shows that Africa was not waiting for outside civilizations to develop it. Africa was a center of power. Punt represents the power of trade. A kingdom that didn't need to conquer its neighbors. It became powerful through commerce. Punt represents female leadership in ancient societies. While Europe and much of the world were moving toward male-dominated power structures, Punt maintained female rulers. And Punt represents the erasure of African history. A powerful kingdom literally erased from maps and from the historical record. Understanding Punt means understanding that history is not objective. It is written by the victors, and the victors chose to erase Africa. What does Punt teach us? It teaches us that African history is not a simple story of decline and stagnation. It's a story of complex civilizations, of sophisticated trade, of political power. It teaches us that female leadership is ancient, that women have ruled kingdoms, controlled trade, shaped empires, and it teaches us that history is a choice. Societies chose to erase Punt, but we can choose to remember it. We can choose to tell the truth. We can choose to remember the kingdoms that were erased. Punt is proof that the world the colonizers claimed never existed. A world of African power, African sophistication, African control of global trade. That world was real. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this journey so far through African history. There are infinite stories of African power, African achievement, African women and men who shaped history. We will keep telling them because these stories matter, because they are true, because the world tried to erase them and we are bringing them back. See you in the next episode, where we discuss the Candace Queen and the important role she played in the history of modern-day Ethiopia.